So everything you've seen and everything you will see in this video has been shot in the new XH2, not the S, but the 40 megapixels version of it. And what we're about to do is to go for a walk in Vienna, the city where I live. It's wonderful, it's beautiful, especially at this time of the year. And instead of analyzing everything and pixel peep photos of walls and bricks, we are going to use it as a normal camera, as a real life camera. And I will try to show you what it's capable of, what annoys me from it as an XT user, and what I love of it. Yeah, stay with me, we're going for a walk. So first things first, let's talk about the design. I didn't use the XH1, which was a camera that was completely different to the XT series. And this one offers a very good grip. It's very deep. You can hold it all day and you don't get tired. No, it's not like in the XT series that is very, very thin. One issue that I have is that it's not very high, so my pinky finger is always free. And I have small hands, so imagine if you have big hands. I love that you can reach all the buttons. Also, I like the touch of the shutter release. It's very soft, like in I don't know, Sony, Canon cameras. The finish of the camera, it feels a lot more sturdy, more resistant than the XT series. Even the paint looks more resistant than the XT series. It's a very rugged feeling. I love that. It feels like it's a workhorse of a camera. Another key element on the camera is the always-on display that you have on the top instead of the dials. We'll talk about the dials later. And I actually like that because I've been working with it in low light conditions, in interiors and at night. And you can see it very quickly, it's always on. Even when you turn off the camera, you can still see how much storage you have left and how much battery you have left. Because I mentioned the dials and the always on screen, As an XD user, XD2, XD3, X100V, the first 1 to 3 hours using the XH2 were very frustrating. I couldn't figure out even how to switch from photo mode to video mode. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to change my settings because I didn't have the dials. I had to go to YouTube, watch tutorials on how to set up the camera, and they don't even mention those things because they are so simple that they assume that you know. So I had to read the manual. Normally I would never read the manual. That was very frustrating. It was very weird. You have the settings that you would normally have in a Sony or a Canon or a Panasonic camera, which being a Fuji user, that's not something that you want to hear. But the truth is that after a few days, a week or two, I got used to switching the C modes, the custom modes from C1, C2, C3, C4. In my case, I have C1, C2 for A-roll and B-roll, and I have a super slow motion, the Full HD 240, and the rest of them are recipes, like Fujifilm recipes. And I found it very useful. I could switch very quickly from my 30 frames per second to 60 in no time. While on the XT series, it takes me a little while. I have to go to the settings and do it manually. So switching from one mode to another is super quick, super intuitive, no problem whatsoever. What I don't find so easy is to change your settings when you want to change ISO, you want to change the aperture. Aperture you can control still from the lens. But the dials on the XT series are so much better. They feel so much better than having a screen or a wheel on the camera. And that's something that is still today, after 2 weeks, quite annoying because it takes some time to get used to it, and it still feels like a traditional camera in the sense of a modern camera, of a Canon camera, Nikon, Sony, etc. But that being said, I will focus now. Perfect keyword. I will focus now on the best part, the autofocus. I absolutely love it. Like, it's such a big step from the XT series. When you use the face detection, eye detection, it nails it all the time, especially with the newer lenses or the red badge lenses. It's amazing. You can see the screen, how it's analyzing the scene, trying to look for human silhouettes or animals or cars or objects or planes or birds or whatever it is. And even when they are not looking at the camera, it detects the face, the head. So when they look at the camera, it's much easier to get the eye. It's astonishing, it's unbelievable, it's so much better than the XT series. Another point that I love is this new sensor. It's a 40 megapixel sensor. I will show you some samples where I could take a photo and then crop in so much without losing much quality. Like, you can still print it. You could print that kind of size many years ago, and you can still do it today. And if you are going to post it on social media, no one will care. No one will see any difference. I love that the amount of detail is unbelievable. I will try to show you some photos to showcase the sensor. The negative part is that it doesn't perform that well in low light, and you can see it. You can see when you compare it to the XH2S, it's a massive difference, and you can see it even comparing to the XT4. And another negative point of that is the rolling shutter. Rolling shutter is really bad, especially if you shoot 8K or 4K high quality. You can see it is terrible. I would say almost unusable in some cases for me when I'm shooting motorbikes. But if you use the lower settings, like the one I'm using today, it's still acceptable and good enough. So I hope you like the walk, I hope you like the photos, I hope you like to see Vienna at this time of the year. It's incredibly beautiful. And yeah, I hope you could see some of the beauty in those photos, in those shots that you saw everything, by the way, shot with this camera, and mostly, unless differently stated in the video, they were shot or taken with a 16 to 55 2.8, simply because it's my most versatile lens, and I love it. It's also one of the lenses recommended for the XH2 and the 40 megapixel sensor. Just a few more words to finish with. This camera is the camera that I'm going to use when I want to get things done. It's not a camera that I use like the X-T3, the X-T4, or the X100V, which are cameras for the joy, for photography, to enjoy every day, to enjoy on vacation, on holidays, on your trips. This is different. It's not the one that you enjoy using it. It will just get things done in the best way possible. That is true. And I'm just happy that I can get those things done, but keeping the Fuji colors. That's what I'm happy about. And that's why I wouldn't buy a Sony or a Canon or a Nikon. Yeah. One more thing. This is the photo-oriented camera. If you're looking for a hybrid camera that can do more video than stills, I would 100% recommend the XH2S, which will have under control that rolling shutter that is so crazy in this camera, and probably, as I've seen in some videos, gives you a much better high dynamic range. I think that's it from my side. This is a new YouTube channel. I'm trying to upload a bunch of videos at the same time, so you have more to choose from. Any help, any comment, any feedback will be highly appreciated, as you can imagine. I apologize already if I mispronounce something. This is not my native language. It's not my mother tongue, as you can hear. And yeah, I hope you had a good time, and hopefully we'll see each other more or less soon. Ciao, ciao. Bye.